Do you believe that you are your thoughts? You create thoughts?
Yes.
And you create your own thoughts?
Most of them. There's a lot of outside information that affects your thoughts, but I try to create everything that I think.
How do you create thoughts? Personally, how do you create them? What are your steps to creating them?
Analyzing where the information that I have comes from, why I believe the things I believe, being very critical of everybody I'm around, and trying to put the best information into my mind.
And so you create your own thoughts. Why would you create thoughts that would bring you fear?
In terms of fearing God?
No, fear within yourself. You know how you have fear? Why would
Right.
you create thoughts that would bring you fear?
That's a good point. I guess those
That
thoughts
was
you
the
try
question.
to you try to quell them as much as possible, but they're always going to be there.
But if you create them while they're there, why do you even bother to create thoughts that would bring you fear? Why not create them since you're in control of creating your own thoughts?
Well, you're right that you're not in control of all of your thoughts. Some of them are external, but we do our best to create the best reality and create the best thoughts we can. But a lot of them are external.
And who create the internal thoughts?
Who created eternal thoughts?
Did you say external or internal?
External thoughts are going to give you fear.
Amazing. Do you believe that you can live a life without fear, period? No, let me ask you this way. Do you believe you can live life without fear at all?
Yes, I think those people are sociopaths. I think those are the people that end up shooting up a school or end up doing insanely crazy things. I think that you need to fear God. Of course, you can live without fear, but then you're going to die.
But the
Then you're going to
people
end
who
up
are,
drunk somewhere.
the people who are committing those types of crimes are doing it out of fear. They're not doing it because they don't have fear. They're doing it because they do have fear.
I guess there's always going to be some fear, but the best thing to fear is God because you can't control God. So you should be able to, everything that you are in control of, you should not let it instill fear into your mind.
But
The one thing that you cannot control is God. So that's the one thing you should fear.
um, and you said you do have anger, right?
Yes,
Is it normal for a man to have anger?
completely.
Any man that has anger is a woman.
Explain.
Let me ask this first: if you can overcome fear, period, would you want to overcome it?
Overcome fear? Yes.
You got to forgive your mother. Your mother imposed her will on you, and you resent her for that, and you become like what you resent. And when you became angry at your mother, you became like her. You have her mindset and her emotions. All men hate their mothers, and the women too, the girls. And they become like what they hate, and they pass it on from generation to generation. And if you realize that just as you can't help yourself but have fear and have anger, your mother couldn't help herself, and because she resents her mother, and she imposed that on you, and now you become like her. And a man is not supposed to have fear because of the order of God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children. Men are supposed to lead women. But if you have their mindset, the woman become your God, and men are subject to women because Satan is the woman's God, and the woman is the man God because of that broken order. When Eve listened to the Satan, she took on his nature and no longer listened to her husband. And when Adam listened to Eve, he took on the woman's nature and no longer listened to his father. It changed their order. But when you forgive your mother and your father for not protecting you from your mother because he can't handle your mother, he's married to his mama, you become attracted to what you hate. But when you forgive them, God will forgive you, and he will take away the mama spirit, which is of the devil, and he will give you back your natural self. And that's when you can really start living without fear. You have the right kind of energy. You have perfect love energy. And in perfect love, there is no fear. and you'll be able to deal with every situation without being moved by it at all. But you got to forgive your mother
How do you forgive your mother?
by telling her that I'm sorry for resenting you. First, you get to know yourself and you see that you are not in control and something else is controlling you. It makes you think and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily think and do. And realize that the anger that you have from your mother brought that on. And go and for, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now that I have become just like you and that you can't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive her and God will forgive you, because women don't forgive. And your mother take that and try to use it against you to control you. But once you apologize for resenting her, God will forgive you, and he will take that away from you, and you'll become a free man, and you can live on this earth with perfect love, and nobody or nothing can ever get to you, and you will operate with perfect peace.
How did you figure this out? And at what age did you forgive your mother?
At 38, and I asked God to let me see myself, because I had all that emotional stuff too. I lived in my imagination, and I had this false idea that success and friends and family and everything would bring me peace, and it only made life worse. Only God can give you peace, and that comes when you forgive. You got to forgive your mother. What do you think would happen if you went to your mother and apologized for resenting her for turning you away from your father?
I think that I wouldn't believe it. And I want to say that because you've explained that in a way that makes a lot of sense, and I think a lot of men can relate to. But I don't think I fully mean it if I had said it yet. So it's something that I need to sit with and think about more before I do it.
That makes sense. You should see it for yourself, not just because I said it, because once you see it for yourself, that's why we need to know ourselves, know thyself, right? When you see it for yourself, then you'll be able to go and forgive her, because you will see that, yes, she did this to you, but you're wrong for resenting her, because by resenting her, you're bringing this upon yourself. And you can overcome it by forgiving her, but you have to see it for yourself. And the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, and you will enter into that kingdom, and you will no longer look outside for the answer, because everything that you're looking for, everything that you are, everything you need to become is already inside of you. You just need to live from within and stop looking on the outside, because you can gain all the wealth in the whole wide world. You can become the richest man on this side of heaven. You still won't have peace. You become the richest man on this side of heaven, you will still have fear. You will still have doubt. You will still have worries. But once you forgive and start living from within, you will no longer have those things. They will all disappear, and the whole earth will belong to you. You are the world. Each individual is the world, not the physical world out there, but you are the world. But you can't get it until you forgive. Islam is not going to do that for you. Christianity is not going to do that for you. No religion can do it. The kingdom of heaven is within. Only forgiveness will set you free. By apologizing for resenting her, and then because it's abnormal for men, any man that has anger is a woman. So when you get with a woman, it's just going to be two women fighting one another, trying to get power. It's all ego. Ego is of the devil. You want to be free from ego, and you want to walk by the light, perfect love from within, and not the ego. Anyone that has ego is evil. The ego must die. You don't want to live by ego. And the light of God will kill the ego, which is of the devil, in the mind and emotions. If you notice how sometimes you feel good, then sometimes you feel bad, and then sometimes you feel good, and sometimes you feel bad. You're like up and down. All that stuff is ego. All that emotional love is hate. It's not love. That's why it doesn't last. God is a dispassionate God. He's not a passionate God. Satan is a passionate, evil God, not a real God, but a fake God. God is dispassionate. Satan is passionate. So anyone that is passionate about anything are really saying to you that they are evil.
So how do you find the motivation to do what you need to do? Because I've found that ego and self-belief has carried a lot of the energy I needed to make me successful.
But that's a fake energy. When you go and forgive your mother and forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother, God's going to give you his energy. It is a natural energy, and it's amazing. If without, it is just natural. It is greater than this false energy that you're getting now. The up and down energy is false. God's energy is forever. It's light unto your feet. It's natural. You would never, it's just natural. It's not up and down. You will have God's energy, and his energy is real.
So do you think somebody like Khabib, for example, one of the most successful UFC fighters of all time, also extremely God-fearing, do you think that he operates and he trains without ego?
Repeat that?
Do you think that Khabib, the undefeated UFC fighter, right?
Right.
He's a Muslim. He's a perfect Muslim. Well, we're not perfect, but he doesn't sleep around. He doesn't do drugs. He's a good example of somebody who just practices his religion and fights all the time.
I guarantee you, without a doubt, he doesn't have peace. I guarantee you, and he's using anger energy to fight to make himself feel better. But when he's alone, he's lonely, he's afraid, he is sad, he's lost. And so he fights to try to cover that up. But a man that has peace can go into a ring with him and knock him out in a second. Because the man with peace is conscious. He's living in the present and not in an illusion of a past or a future. But he's living in the present where God is. And when you live in the present, you can see. And so the man that has peace would not, I don't know who that person is anyway, but he would knock him out in a second because this guy is fighting in the dark, whereas the man of peace fighting in the light.
Who's a good example of somebody who has let go of their ego and forgiven his mother?
Jesus Christ.
What about
Jesus
a
Christ
mortal man?
died.
What about a mortal man? Because Christians believe that Jesus is superior, is God. Is there an example of a mortal man who's forgiven?
I have forgiven, and I meet men and women around the world, men and women, who go and forgive their mothers. Most of them didn't know that they needed to forgive their mothers. And they go and forgive mama because mama made them think that it's the father that's the problem, but the mother is the problem. And she pretended to be victim, right? She played a victim. She pretended dad was the bad guy when she was the evil one doing it to the father, driving him nuts. But because he hadn't overcome his mother, he worshiped her too. He tried to get something that women don't have, and that is love, right? The love comes from the man that comes from God. And so I know men and women, I meet them around the country now. I counsel with them. They attend the meetings and things, and they go and forgive. They become patient, free inwardly, men and women. You got to.
I've never heard this broken down like that. You really surprised me with this information.
Does it make sense a little bit?
It makes complete sense.
And you know why it makes sense?
No.
God is allowing you to see it from within. It's not me. I'm just bringing you the message. But only God can cause you to see the truth. And that's what it means to know God, when you're able to see. Now you can see. And when you go and forgive your mother, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. Because anyone that has anger is playing God. And you're not able to know him when you play him because you're judging and you're insecure. But you can see where I'm coming from because you want the truth. That's why you were a Christian, you became a Muslim, you're looking for the truth, and now you've found it. All you have to do now is go and forgive, and the rest is easy. You'll start living from within instead of without. And you'll still be able to make your money, you'll be able to run your business, but you won't identify with it. It won't be an identity. It will be something that you do, but it won't be you. You are not your job, you're not your money, you're not things, you're not your body, you're not your mind. You are a spirit created in the image of God. And your mother turned you away from that when she turned you away from your father. you must forgive so you can find he's with you already. That's why you can see where I'm coming from. And also, I want you to give my silent prayer a chance and let me know what you think about that. www.silentprayer.video. www.silentprayer.video. You can still do your little Muslim thing, go out there and hoop and holler to Allahu Akbar. And when you're done, be still and know God. Because right now he's with you. That's why you see where I'm coming from. And you're seeing it from within.
So how do you define the self? If it's not what you do or what you provide or what you give, if it's not your job or it's not your accomplishments, then how do you define the self?
There is no self. Everything you see about yourself is an illusion. The real you will appear when the false you disappear. You got to get rid of all this ego, and the light of God will destroy the darkness, which is the ego. I'm so out of time, man. Do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer, and we can talk some more.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Go and face your mama, boy.
I need to think about this a little bit more, but I think you make some good points.
Right on. It was amazing talking to you, man.
I really appreciate this conversation, Jesse.
You're welcome. We'll talk again, all right?
All right, thank you.
Okay.